few moments later. A few moments later.
Chlöe Bailey just made her full comeback official, and the internet is not calm about it. The singer and performer took the stage at Baltimore's AFRAM Festival over Juneteenth weekend, capping off day 2 of one of the most historically significant cultural celebrations on the calendar. And word on the street is she didn't just perform. She allegedly reminded every single person in that crowd and everyone watching from home exactly why her absence from the stage has been felt so deeply across the music landscape for the past year. This wasn't a cameo. This wasn't a feature slot. This was Chlöe Bailey in full concert mode for the first time in over a year, and reportedly, she made every single second count. Let's start with the significance of the setting, because context is everything here. AFRAM isn't just any festival. It's a Baltimore institution, one of the longest-running African-American cultural festivals in the entire country, and performing there over Juneteenth weekend carries a cultural weight that goes far beyond a standard booking. The industry machinery doesn't always recognize the depth of what stages like this represent, but fans absolutely do, and reportedly, Chlöe understood the assignment completely. Choosing this specific moment, this specific festival, this specific weekend to return to the stage full force is allegedly sending a message that she didn't stumble back into the spotlight. She walked back in with intention, with purpose, and with something new to say. And that something new is the real story here, because Chlöe didn't just perform her catalog and call it a night. She reportedly debuted new songs from her upcoming Project Resurrection Live for the very first time, and the name of that project alone is doing a lot of work in this conversation right now. Fans are saying the title Resurrection is not an accident. It is allegedly a declaration, a deliberate choice of language from an artist who has been through a very public and very personal period of transition, and who is reportedly emerging from that chapter with new music, new energy, and a new chapter of her career that she's ready to share with the world on her own terms. But here's where things really get interesting, because the fan reactions coming out of that AFRAM performance are not the kind of polished, PR-friendly responses you get when a celebrity appearance is carefully managed and staged for optics. These are raw, emotional, first-person accounts from people who were physically in that crowd, in that heat, watching Chlöe Bailey pour herself out on that stage. One fan reportedly said she absolutely killed it, and that it was so good to see her performing her heart out again. And the phrase "again" in that comment is carrying a specific kind of emotional weight that fans are picking up on. It implies absence. It implies waiting. It implies that the people who love Chlöe Bailey have been holding space for her return and finally got what they were waiting for. Another fan comment that's been circulating across platforms said they're ready for a full tour now, and reportedly that sentiment is spreading fast, because one performance was apparently enough to remind people exactly how powerful Chlöe Bailey is when she's fully locked in on a stage with an audience in front of her. Fans believe this AFRAM set was never just going to be a one-off moment. It was going to be the moment that opened the floodgates, and the online response is suggesting that's exactly what happened. Chlöe herself took to Instagram after the performance, and the caption she posted is reportedly being read as one of the most grateful, most grounded things she's shared publicly in a while. She thanked Baltimore, acknowledged the significance of performing over Juneteenth weekend, and specifically called out the experience of performing new songs from Resurrection for the first time live. Fans are saying the way she framed that gratitude felt personal and unscripted, like a woman who genuinely couldn't believe she was back on a stage doing what she loves, which is arguably even more powerful than any perfectly crafted press release could ever be. One fan comment in particular is getting a lot of attention for a reason that goes slightly beyond the usual concert praise. Someone reportedly wrote, "Thank you, Chlöe, for trusting us for the day," and fans are saying that phrasing speaks volumes about the relationship she's built with her audience. The idea of a performer trusting her fan base, of the dynamic going both ways, of a concert being a mutual act of faith between an artist and the people who show up for her, is the kind of sentiment that doesn't get expressed about just any celebrity. It reportedly gets expressed about the ones whose vulnerability is visible, whose artistry feels personal, and whose presence on stage feels like something being given rather than something being sold. The gatekeeping that sometimes surrounds conversations about Chlöe Bailey, about where she fits in the current music landscape, about what her solo career means separate from her history as part of a duo, reportedly got no oxygen at AFRAM. None of that conversation had room to breathe when she was on that stage, because the performance itself was allegedly the only answer anyone needed. Fans aren't debating where she fits anymore. They're demanding a tour, calling her an angel, saying the new songs had them carried away, and reporting back from that crowd like people who witnessed something they need everyone else to know about. At the end of the day, Chlöe Bailey's AFRAM performance over Juneteenth weekend is going to be remembered as the moment the comeback became undeniable. Resurrection is reportedly not just an album title. It's a whole era, and Baltimore allegedly got the first look at what that era sounds like live. So here's what we want to know. Are you ready for a full Chlöe Bailey Resurrection tour? And do you think this Juneteenth comeback is the beginning of her biggest chapter yet? Drop everything you're thinking in the comments, because this conversation deserves to be loud. And if you are here for every moment of this era as it unfolds, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because we are just getting started.